I now call this Bryan Independent School District meeting to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The time is 6 o'clock. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone present, and boy, do we have a lot of people present. Y'all will be happy to know that we always put our recognitions near the beginning of the meeting so that you won't necessarily have to stand there too long, but we're just so happy to have all of you here. I will ask you to turn off the sound on your electronic devices, and please stand, if you're not standing already, for the pledge. And yes, we have some helpers on the pledge. To do the American flag, we have students from Navarro, and for the Texas flag, students from Johnson Elementary.
You have a microphone?
Yeah, would y'all like to introduce?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Mateo. I'm from Navarro. I'm in 4th grade.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm from Navarro. I'm 3rd grade.
Hi, I'm Raylan, and I'm from Navarro in 1st grade.
Hi, I'm Richard from Navarro in 4th grade. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good.
You didn't tell us who you are. And parents, you can get wherever you need to take pictures. If you want to come up or scoot around, don't be shy. You need those pictures.
And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Tara Hunter. I'm the principal at Navarro, so thank you.
I'm Laura De La Rosa, and I'm the principal at Johnson.
My name is Derek, and I'm from Johnson.
What grade are you?
2nd.
Hi, I'm Christopher, and I'm from Johnson Elementary, and I'm in 3rd grade.
Hi, I'm Cristobal, and I am in 3rd grade from Johnson Elementary.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I'm from Johnson Elementary in 4th grade.
Hi, I'm Holland, and I am in 4th grade from Johnson Elementary.
Hi, I'm Kinley. I'm in 3rd grade from Johnson.
Hi, my name is Evangeline. I am from Johnson Elementary in 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Gwendolyn, and I'm in 4th grade at Johnson Elementary.
Hi, my name is Cecilia, and I am in 4th grade at Johnson Elementary. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right, great.
Thank
Great
y'all.
job. If you'd like to introduce your staff, you have some staff members here.
Yes, I have. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm David Medrano, 4th grade teacher at Johnson Elementary.
I'm Leah O'Brien, 2nd grade teacher at Johnson and head of the robotics club.
Jacqueline Naciansano, assistant principal.
If any of these kids have an early bedtime, y'all are okay to leave. It's up to y'all. All right, next
Good job, guys.
we're going
Thank
to
y'all.
recognize some teachers of the month, or some employees of the month, starting with teachers. We have Truist Bank Representative Tim Pavlis will present gift cards. Our first teacher is Barbara Darnell from Navarro. and she will be introduced by Tara Hunter.
Good evening. Thank you for having us tonight. I am so honored to celebrate our October Teacher of the Month. I'm Tara Hunter. I'm proud principal at Navarro Elementary. I am here to introduce an amazing teacher at Navarro Elementary. We are honored to have Miss Barbara Darnell, our 4th grade reading teacher, as our October Teacher of the Month. Miss Darnell inspires her students every day not only to be the best at reading, but to be great humans. She's a dedicated educator who actively pursues professional growth, continually refining her skills, strategies to inspire, challenge, and support every student reaching their full potential. She is a role model for her students and our staff alike. I just want to share some words that our staff said about Ms. Darnell. From our nurse, Nurse Salcedo, she is an amazing teacher. From one of her teachers in 4th grade, Miss Byers, Ms. Darnell has taken on many after-hour jobs, including working with new teachers, being the tech guru, as well as making sure 4th grade is running well. She is awesome. And Ms. Aponte, our pre-K teacher, says, I'm honored to nominate Ms. Darnell for Teacher of the Month. She is a hardworking person who consistently goes above and beyond for her students and colleagues. Most importantly, she has essential qualities of an outstanding teacher: compassion, patience, kindness, and tolerance. So we are pleased to announce and have Miss Barbara Darnell as our October Teacher of the Month. Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Our next honoree is Yvonne Stone from Johnson, and she will be introduced by Principal Laura De La Rosa.
Good evening. My name is Laura De La Rosa, and I'm the proud principal of Johnson Elementary. I'm here this evening to help spotlight Ms. Yvonne Stone, our incredible special education teacher, as our October Teacher of the Month. Every great superhero has a power that changes the world, but not all wear capes. Like superheroes, Ms. Stone has a lot of unique gifts and talents that make her an asset to our school family. One of Ms. Stone's incredible gifts is seeing and unlocking great potential in all of her students. Ms. Stone sees past all struggles and challenges to spot the strength underneath and those around her. She's constantly ready with tools to help her students succeed and help her colleagues thrive. Ms. Stone is one that likes to remain under the radar, but behind the scenes, she's constantly working to collaborate and make sure every single one of her students and colleagues know how powerful they truly are. In addition to serving as an advocate for her elementary students during the day, she leaves her job as a special education teacher to her second job to teach at the community college. Her work ethic is difficult to go unnoticed, yet she doesn't want any of the credit. Although she prefers to stay out of the spotlight, today I'm here to say, Ms. Stone, we see you and we thank you. Thank you for being a hero to your students and to everyone who knows you. It is truly an honor to stand here tonight to honor Ms. Yvonne Stone as our October Teacher of the Month.
Can I have, y'all go down there, yeah. Take your picture.
So cute, they made a sign.
Mhm.
Give them just a moment for a photo op here, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, congratulations again. All right, we next have a secondary teacher of the month. Teacher is Michelle Rios from Bryan High School, and she will be introduced by Dr. Greg Boheis.
I'm honored today to be recognizing Michelle Rios as our Bryan High School October Teacher of the Month. Brad Henry once said, "A good teacher can inspire, hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning." Coach Rios, as she is known to our students, has been with Bryan ISD for 17 years. She spent 13 years in the classroom teaching world geography and U.S. history and has coached volleyball for 17 years, girls soccer for 9 years, and coached softball for 8 years. Coach Rios was also the emergent bilingual coordinator for Bryan High School for 3 years. Currently, Coach Rios is back in the classroom as a SPED co-teach for our English 4, personal financial literacy and economics and government, as well as coaching volleyball and soccer. Coach Rios exemplifies what children first always truly means. She always considers how her instructional decisions will affect the students she serves and their successes, even if that means more work for her. Her willingness to take chances and leap to new ideas and classroom strategies shows where her heart is. It's always for students first and foremost. Today is a perfect example of her heart for students as she participated in our Meme Monday for homecoming week. You can see her walking around the school with a sign saying, "It's been 67 days and I don't know what 6-7 really means." That is an example of the smile that she brings to our campus each and every day. Coach Rios, thank you for being a Viking, an example of what we want to see on our campus.
She never says no. She's so good. She's so calm. She keeps us grounded.
Congratulations again. And our next honoree is Auxiliary Employee of the Month, and it is Susan Covington. She will be introduced by Bridget Young of School Nutrition.
Her upbeat attitude and willingness to help wherever she's needed make her an invaluable part of our team. As a manager in training, Susan rotates between campuses to gain hands-on experience with managerial responsibilities. She also steps in to support sites that are short-staffed, using each opportunity to strengthen her leadership and operational skills while ensuring our students continue to receive excellent service. Susan is passionate about training and enjoys sharing her knowledge with others. Her friendly, approachable nature makes her a favorite among both staff and students. We often hear compliments like, "The students really like her because she always greeted them with a smile and asked how their day was going." Her ability to connect with students leaves a lasting impression. After subbing for just one day at MC Harris, the students were asking for her by name and couldn't wait to see her when she returned. Susan has a natural ability to make those around her feel welcomed and valued. Her dedication, positivity, and team spirit truly makes her a real asset to the school nutrition department. Congratulations, Susan, and thank you for all you do.
Oh, that's sweet. Come on, Brian. All right, again, thanks to all of the honored employees. And now Dr. Richardson, Christina Richardson, has a few presentations to make for advanced students, advanced academic students.
Yes. Hang on 1 minute, please.
I did occasionally.
Thank you for being here tonight. I'm so excited to see the number of parent and students to be honored tonight, and I do mean parents also. Your students could not have done it without your support behind them. And so this is something really special that I love that we do, that we recognize students for their academic achievements. And so there's a lot of you here, as you can see. I'm not going to call everybody's name individually, but your student's name is going to be up on the slide. And so students, I'll call kind of groups of you by your awards, so be sure to look at your certificates and make sure you know which awards you should come up for. Okay, so first up is our National Recognition Scholars by College Board. Students take the fall PSAT or MSQT and score in the top 10% of test takers in their state, earn a 3+ on 2 or more distinct AP exams, and earn a cumulative GPA of B+ or higher at the time of the submission for their award. So we are going to have Bryan Collegiate College Board National Recognition students come up first with their principal, Dr. Desiree Caperton. So Bryan Collegiate College Board National Recognition.
And parents, get wherever you need to. You can come up and take pictures.
Gotcha. Okay. Crunch in a little bit. I'm going to come this way.
They saw their name.
I still see camera.
Got it? Okay. Thank you guys very much. Congratulations. Next are our College Board National Recognition students from Bryan High School and their principal, Dr. Gregory Boheis. Use all the stairs. Use the stairs. There's going to be a lot of
If you need to make 2 layers.
They'll be taller than us.
tall people in the back.
Look who's in front of us.
Hide your best face.
Joel, you're going to have to jump.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, Axel's a little tall. Is that mine? Yeah. He's saving us people.
All right, are they all up here? Is that all of them?
Wow.
I'm out.
Irrelevant. Great job. No, good job. It's okay. It's not yours.
All right. College Board National Recognition students from Rudder High School and their principal, Rachel Layton. Where's Rachel? Where's
Yeah.
Rachel?
Should I go around this? Okay.
Yeah. You guys are going to need to get in 2 rows.
That's a good idea, sir. Great job. Good job. Poor thing.
That's awesome.
Are you sure?
That's a lot too.
Okay, next up are our AP scholars. There are 3 levels of AP scholars. The first level is AP scholars, granted to students who receive a 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. The second level is AP scholars with honors, and this is for students who have an average of 3.25 on all AP exams and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. And then AP Scholars with Distinction. And this is granted to students who receive an average score of 3.5 on all AP exams and a 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. So this time, the first category, all AP Scholars from all 3 campuses, please come up, and all 3 principals. Students with honors or distinction, please wait. This is just for the first group, AP Scholars. Yeah, you guys are going to have to do another row.
I won't push you, I promise. I'll try not to push you.
You can move this way.
He's got the giant.
Yay, congratulations.
Great job.
Congratulations. Our next group, AP Scholars with Honors. If you will come up, and Greg Boheis and Rachel Layton.
Alfredo, congratulations.
Okay. Any student with AP Scholars with Honors. If you're not sure if it's you, look up at the slide.
These are, yeah.
Are they distinct?
Here comes
Are they
another
distinct?
one.
Here it comes.
Okay.
I had to go find them.
All right.
Rachel. Great job.
And then our last group is AP Scholars with Distinction.
What do you think? You got to worry about distinguished kids. Sing along.
His dad was in gymnastics back in the day. No.
Our next group that we're going to recognize are our Rudder students who have earned either the AP Capstone Diploma or our AP Seminar and Research Certificate. Now, I will say many of these students were seniors last year and maybe are not joining us tonight, but we did want to go ahead and honor them. So if you're here and you've earned either your diploma or your certificate, please come up.
Tell them, Pam.
Probably on their campus for sure on the Bryan ISD.
Congratulations. Next up are our IB diploma students. Again, many of these students have graduated. Hopefully some are here with us tonight. And this is at Bryan High School. Do we have?
And you know that all these pictures will be on our BISD Facebook page and, of course, probably the individual school pages.
Why don't you wait for Mr. Bryan to come back?
We know what he looks like, Mr. Lee. We've seen him before.
Come on, Joel, let's see how fast you are. Come on.
Congratulations, guys. Bye, Pam. Family back. Good job.
Congratulations. Our next two groups that we're going to recognize are National Merit students. These students have scored in the top, sorry, I have to get my cheat sheet. For National Merit commended students in the top 2 to 3% of PSAT scores. It's about 34,000 students in the nation are named commended students. So if our commended students could come forward with their principal.
Good job.
Our commended students are Tennyson Barton, Ruth DeLeon, Hugo West, Maxine Colley, and Erica Vitha.
Just to be safe.
Congratulations. And our last group are our National Merit semifinalists, Michael Farnsworth and Catherine Kaiser. If you will please come up.
Yeah.
Thank you, love. Who's here?
Exactly. Take Mr. Farnsworth.
Congratulations. And that is all of the Advanced Academics Awards.
Congratulations.
Great. Good job.
Kids. Amazing.
Well, we have one more recognition, but I forgot, I should have said this a little earlier. I just want to be sure to thank Truist Bank for providing some gift cards for our employees that we recognize. They have been doing that for a long time, and we really appreciate that. So next up, we have Texas Choir Director Association All-State Choir recipients, and Mr. Jacob Justice is going to do the presentation.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the board and our superintendent for their constant support of fine arts in Bryan ISD and their commitment to excellence, which inspires our teachers and students. Today, I'm here to recognize 3 amazing students who took part in the Texas Choir Directors Association Junior High Middle School All-State Choir and Elementary All-State Choir in San Antonio this past summer. Students from all over the state of Texas audition to be part, and the best ones are chosen to perform at the Summer Music Conference. These students traveled to San Antonio, rehearsed for 3 days with students from all over Texas, and all of this culminated in a concert on Saturday, July 26. It is because of their hard work and talent, the dedication of their teachers, support from their families, and the opportunities our district provides that these students were able to perform on the statewide stage. Now I want to recognize these students. Isaiah Medlock, representing Rayburn Intermediate School. His director was Drew Allman. Lorelei Filburn, representing Davila Middle School. Her director was also Drew Allman. And Jonathan Medlock, representing SFA Middle School under the direction of Sky Falden Gutierrez. Join me in congratulating these talented musicians and their choir teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations again. All right, we're now going to move to the public comment portion of our agenda. Citizens may make comments about topics relevant to district business. Topics should be limited to 3 minutes. Comments concerning specific students or personnel will be heard in closed session. This is for this meeting, which is the second meeting, which normally the second meeting anyway, unless we don't have a meeting at the first part of the month, that is for either agenda items or non-agenda items. And this is, I believe, a non-agenda item. Mr. Roy Flores, come up and speak on the bond issue. And I'll try to let you know when we get close to the end of the 3 minutes.
Speaking of this or this?
I don't know which one's live.
I think the one on the stand is live.
This one.
Okay. All right.
Answers that question.
All right. Here we are.
Yeah, just
I'll
tell
press
me-
start here.
tell me when
Okay,
you
go
get
ahead.
started.
Go ahead. Yep.
Roy Flores, lifelong Bryan resident. Ockman's razor. All things being equal, the simplest solution tends to be the best one. I come tonight to explain why Prop A is not in our children's best interest. Bryan ISD, over the past 20 years, has maintained an average of 16,000 students per year. Today, we have approximately 80% of those children are of color. Our administration says that we have 4 high schools. That's a lie. We have 3. We have these 3 on the east side of town, and they're approximately half a mile away from each other in the Anglo residence. We have this, which is a disciplinary school that houses about 55 students, which is not a high school. About 20 years ago, myself and other Latino business owners met with BISD officials to discuss the urgent need for a high school on the west side of town. We had high hopes. What do we get? A bus barn. When I see children, predominantly of color, living in town on the wrong side of the tracks, having to wake up 2 hours earlier than their counterparts, doesn't sound equal. We've all heard the term institutional racism, which embedded in policies, practices, and, of course, procedures. Again, Occam's razor. All being equal, if it looks racist, sounds racist, it's racist. This is why I can't in good conscience vote to give y'all close to $500 million.
You have about 30 seconds, I'll just let you know.
Thank you. $500 million to tear down a perfectly good school, which is Lamar, to replace it with merely cosmetic purposes or appearance. Having a high school on the west side of town is the #1 issue facing our community that continues to divide this community instead of uniting it.
Okay, I need you to wrap up. We're out of time. So go ahead and wrap up, please.
I'm done.
You can wrap up. Okay, you're done? All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're not allowed to discuss the item because it's not an agenda item, and but it certainly can be considered at some other time if the board so chooses. All right, the next item on the agenda is the call for to order public hearing. And I need to recess this meeting in order to go into the public hearing. So I now recess this public meeting of the Bryan Independent School District. The time is 6:37. The purpose of this public hearing is to discuss information pertaining to the annual FIRST rating. That's FIRST. It's an acronym for the district. Following the presentation, we invite members of the public to make comments regarding this topic. Our presenter is our Chief Financial Officer, Norma Friddle. And thank you for being here this evening.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Superintendent Carabine. This evening, we are conducting the required public hearing for the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas, also known as FIRST. The purpose of this report is to ensure that school districts are accountable for the quality of their financial management practices and to provide transparency for our taxpayers. I'm pleased to share that Bryan ISD has earned a rating of Superior Achievement, the highest possible rating. This demonstrates our ongoing commitment to sound financial management and transparency. For your convenience, we've compiled each indicator and the district scores into an easy-to-read booklet. Additional copies are also available at the entrance for members who wish to have a copy. Before we begin, I think it's helpful to understand the annual timeline that TEA follows in assessing these ratings. The cycle begins with the school district's fiscal year ending on June 30th. After the close of the fiscal year, each district submits its annual financial audit to the Texas Education Agency in November. In January, the district also submits its financial information, which provides detailed expenditure and staffing information. Oh, thank you. From February through June, TEA reviews and closes out the audit submissions statewide. Between March and July, the agency evaluates that data received and it calculates school district ratings based on the financial indicators and the data quality. Initial FIRST ratings are released in August, and the districts are given the opportunity to appeal during August and September if there are any discrepancies. Once that process is complete, each district is required to conduct a public hearing, such as this one, to publicly share its rating. Finally, TEA releases the official ratings in November, completing the cycle for that year. As I mentioned earlier, the district earned an A rating, the highest level a school district can receive. What's more meaningful is that Bryan ISD has earned this distinction every single year since the first rating began in 2001. This slide simply provides a statewide comparison of first scores. As you can see, there are over 1,000 school districts across Texas collectively serving more than 5.1 million students. All right, let's jump in. Critical indicators. In short, the critical indicators are the non-negotiable financial requirements that every school district must meet in order to be in good standing with TEA. They represent the foundational standards of fiscal responsibility, things like filing the audit on time, having a clean audit opinion, and paying debts as scheduled, and making timely payments to state and federal agencies as well. If a district fails even one of these indicators, it can automatically fail the entire first rating, regardless of its other scores. Fiscal responsibility. These next indicators look at the district's overall financial strength. They confirm that our assets are greater than our liabilities, showing that we're in a positive net financial position. They also review our fund balance over time to ensure that we are maintaining healthy reserves and not spending them down too quickly. Another measure looks at how many days of operating cash we have on hand, an important sign of financial readiness. And finally, that our current assets are more than enough to cover short-term liability and obligations. Together, these indicators reflect a district that's financially stable and responsibly managed. These next indicators continue to focus on the district's financial stability. Indicator 9 checks that our general fund revenues meet or exceed expenditures, or that we have at least 60 days of cash on hand. Indicator 10 is not being evaluated this year, and 11 looks at our long-term debt compared to total assets, confirming that we can comfortably meet future obligations. And finally, indicator 12 ensures that our local property values are strong enough to fully cover our debt payments each year. These next indicators focus on how the district manages staffing and administrative costs. Indicator 13 measures our administrative cost ratio, making sure that our spending on administration stays within the state's limits, keeping most resources directed towards the classrooms. Bryan ISD earned the maximum score, reflecting a healthy balance between administrative and instructional spending. Indicator 14 states that there was no significant decline in the district's student-to-staff ratio over 3 years. And these next indicators focus on the financial accuracy and the integrity of our data. Indicator 15 checks that our student attendance numbers, or ADA, are within the range that we projected to TEA, showing that our enrollment reporting is consistent and reliable. Indicator 16 compares PEIMS data with the information in our annual financial report, or our audit, to ensure that they both align. Indicator 17 confirms that our independent auditors found no material weaknesses in our internal controls. The final indicators focus on compliance and transparency. Indicator 18 confirms that our independent auditors found no material noncompliance in the use of any local, state, or federal funds, meaning that all grant and contract requirements were properly followed. Indicator 19 checks that the district posted all required financial information on our website in accordance with state law. Indicator 20 ensures that the district's leadership and board discussed any anticipated changes in local, state, or federal funding before adopting the annual budget. And our last and final indicator, 21, confirms that the district did not need an adjusted repayment plan for state funding due to a financial hardship. Along with the rating, school districts are also required to publicly report certain additional information. This includes the superintendent's current contract and any reimbursements received by board members and the superintendent. All of this information is included in your ready-to-read booklet this evening. And as we look ahead, there are a few key areas that we will continue to closely monitor. First of all, cash and investments. We'll keep working to maximize earnings on district funds and stay mindful of the indicators tied to liquidity and short-term assets. Second, the administrative cost ratio. While Bryan ISD earned the maximum points, it remains an important measure of fiscal balance, and we should be watching that carefully. And finally, we'll continue to focus on maintaining a healthy fund balance to support the overall district's financial health. I'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
Well, this is a public hearing, so a lot of our public has left us, but that's okay. We still have some public folks here, and so if anybody has a question, please, now's the time to ask, or get an explanation of anything.
Mr. Stasny, if I may.
Yes.
Ms. Frill, so our rating determines our borrowing rate. Is that tied into that, or is this a separate?
It's one.
It's one of the factors.
It's only one factor, yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, because I know y'all work really hard. We're so proud of that rating, and especially when we're looking at a bond, it is nice to know that that contributes to us getting the best rates possible. So thank y'all for that work.
You are absolutely right, yes, sir.
I think all our future CFOs have left the building, but those really smart kids that will be CFOs, too bad we didn't know to be able to keep them here, and they could have had a test over this tomorrow, extra credit. We're very proud, thank you.
Anybody else? There being no further business, the public hearing is adjourned at 6:48. And I now reconvene the regular meeting of the Bryan Independent School District. The time is 6:48. We'll proceed to superintendent report and board member reports. And Ms. Carabine, you get to go first.
Thank you, Mr. Stasny. I'm going to get Mr. Falls to bring the clicker up. There's so many celebrations. I don't know where to begin. Tonight was the epitome of celebrating advanced academics and the good work of our students, and that does not happen by chance. So thank you to all the teachers from kindergarten through high school that made tonight possible. We're very, very proud. But we're also celebrating Essential 8. Character development in Bryan ISD remains a top priority. So here we are in October, and we are celebrating tolerance. You can see in the photo, we visited our schools and we asked the kids, what does this mean to you? And the answers and responses were simply incredible. So we're very proud to continue to celebrate the Essential 8 month by month, and we look forward to November, which will bring us gratitude. Hot off the press, and congratulations are in order. The Bryan High School Viking Band competed at area this past weekend. The band earned the highest ratings possible at the UIL Marching Band Contest, which were all ones. If you check this out on Facebook, you'll see that they filmed the students as they were making the announcement, and when they said all straight ones, which is superior, our students and our staff and the parents in tow erupted in applause. So next week our band will perform at the UIL area contest in Round Rock. So they're well on their way to, again, represent us at the highest level on the biggest stage. Congratulations. And speaking of congratulations, family and community engagement are at full throttle again this year. So a big thank you to Dr. Brian Merrill, his team, our elementary and intermediate principals, all the PE teachers associated with these younger grades for teaching our students to dance, line dance in particular, because we just held the second annual Dancing Under the Stars. You can see by the photo that there were hundreds of students this year. The crowd was even larger than last year, which is unimaginable, but they turned out in full force with their families to just have a good, wholesome night of family fun. And we are so appreciative of the board members who were able to clear their schedules to join us. And again, our elementary principals and our families. I think this photo and this event is indicative of what's happening here in Bryan ISD. When we say family engagement, we mean it. And this is just another great example of shining a light on the good things happening in Bryan ISD. We've talked a little bit about the band. I'm proud to say that for 3 consecutive years, Bryan ISD has had the honor and privilege of hosting what is now known as the Brazos Valley Marching Band Showcase. So very recently, we added a new high school this year, so Madisonville, Bryan High School, Rudder High School, College Station High School, and Consol High School all performed their competition piece, which was helpful for them to go and compete with UIL, because that night, besides performing for all of us, they received invaluable feedback so they could make those last-minute adjustments. But I can tell you, several of us were there that night, and we could not be more proud of Bryan High School and Rudder High School for holding their own out there, if you will, and truly performing at their highest level. So congratulations to all bands that night. And then finally, I could not be more proud of our students. As you can see in this photo, we had our annual Habitat for Humanity pumpkin patch unloading of the semi-truck. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pumpkins. You can't even imagine how many were in that truck. So we did an all-call, knowing full well that it was Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on fall break. And I didn't know what to expect. I thought maybe 2 or 3 kids might show up to help. Well, you can see how many kids showed up. It was a Bryan ISD event with middle school and high school kids from every single one of our schools showing up in full force to unload, again, hundreds and hundreds of pumpkins. This is the perfect example of our kids understanding what it means to give back and to serve our community. It was a life lesson for them as well, because they understand all the pumpkins that are sold, the proceeds go to Habitat for Humanity to build houses for deserving families. So a hand up, not a handout. And the theme this year is turning pumpkins into houses. So our kids left pretty fired up, and I think they'll be back in subsequent years to help. It was just a wonderful experience. And again, I cannot be any more proud. Normally, Texas A&M brings the biggest load of students to help with this event, but this year, Bryan ISD definitely dominated the event. So very, very proud. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Carabine. And I'll just mention that you and your husband Mike and I are all 3 of us are liaisons for St. Joseph's Catholic Church as part of that Faith in Action Committee, which that's who's putting this on, and it's over by Hillier on 29th Street. So if you don't have your pumpkin, that's where to get it. They got all kinds there. So it is a great fundraiser. Well, next I've got some housekeeping to do. I've got a script that's from the Texas, the State Board of Education. And I'll just basically follow the script. Under the State Board of Education rule, completing required continuing education each year of service is a basic obligation and expectation of any sitting board member. As board president, I'm required to announce the name of each member who has completed the required continuing education, has exceeded the required continuing education, and is deficient in meeting the required continuing education. The requirements for training are measured as of the anniversary date of the trustee's election or appointment, or 2-year anniversary of his or her previous training as applicable. Some of the training is every 2 years. Some of it is just once, and it doesn't have to be repeated. There are 8 training areas for board members continuing education. Number 1, local district orientation. Number 2, orientation to the Texas Education Code. Number 3, post-legislative update to the Texas Education Code. Number 4, team building. Number 5, additional continuing education. Number 6, evaluating student academic performance and setting goals. Number 7, identifying and reporting abuse, trafficking, and other maltreatment of children. And number 8, school safety. To the extent applicable to each board member, I will announce the completion or deficiency as to required training. For members who still have time remaining to complete required training, I will announce those board members who have scheduled timely training and those who have not yet scheduled the training. At the conclusion of this announcement, I will announce any board members training in excess of the continuing education requirements. Board member David Stasny has exceeded the required amount of continuing education training. Board member Felicia Benford has exceeded the required amount of continuing education training. Board member Joel Bryan has exceeded the required amount of continuing education training. Board member Dr. Julie Harlan-Wolf has exceeded the required amount of continuing education training. Board member David Stennis has exceeded the required amount of continuing education training. Board member Ruthie Walter has exceeded the required amount of continuing education training. And board member Leo Gonzalez has exceeded the required amount of continuing education training. And that's that. So now you know. Moving on to 8C. We will have committee reports. We have various board committees, and we have one of the board members to speak on behalf of each committee, starting with teaching and learning. Board Committee, Dr. Julie Harlan Wolf.
Thanks, Mr. Stasny. The Teaching and Learning Committee met on October 3rd on Zoom at 8:30 in the morning. Our board members that were present were Felicia Binford, me, as well as Ms. Ruthie Waller. Staff members present were Barbara Ibarra and Ginger Carabine. We heard an update from Ms. Carabine on the Texas Strategic Leadership update. And just as a reminder, Bryan ISD was selected to join the TSL program through the Texas Education Agency in Region 6. This honor followed a competitive application and interview process, and Bryan ISD is only one of 2 districts in our region chosen to participate. We will continue to receive updates about those activities as it continues. Dr. Ibarra also let us know about the Texas Mobile STEM Laboratory. So Bowen Elementary was chosen. It was one of 30 schools out of over 1,000 applications statewide that was chosen for TEA's Texas Mobile STEM Lab. Each mobile lab provides engaging hands-on educational experience for students and teachers using a custom outfitted STEM learning space. So that was over at Bowen Elementary for several days. It was very exciting. We also heard from Dr. Ibarra about the Give Joy, Grow, and Give Back. So this is from the Give Joy Foundation. We will continue to work with them on their Grow and Give Back holiday event. That celebration this year will be on Saturday, December 6th from 8 to 4 here at the Bryan ISD Administration Building. And through this event, over 350 Bryan students and children, approximately 105 families will be gifted with the full holiday experience. So we typically get about $125 worth of gifts for each child and a freshly prepared meal for the entire family. And it's really fun to be Santa for those kids in the moment, to go buy gifts from their list, and then come back here and wrap those, and then in some cases even deliver them to the family.
Thank you very much. Next, we have City School Joint Committee meeting. Ms. Waller?
Yes. We met October 7th at noon in the Bryan City Hall. Lunch was provided by the city, which is always really good. Those of us from BISD that were represented, Mr. Bryan, David Stasny, myself, Ms. Carabine, Hugo Ybarra, Norma Friddle. I think that's, okay. There was a variety of people there from the city, council, and staff. Ms. Friddle, and I was excited, made the same presentation, a little briefer, of the first bond rating, like she did tonight, to the city staff, and they were very pleased. She's so easy to understand. Of course, that's right up their alley. And we were pleased that she was there. She introduced herself. It's the first time for many of them to meet her. So it was a good way for our CFO to meet the city, and thank you very much, Ms. Friddle. Ms. Carabine talked about our enrollment, which is steady. It's not growing. So we just call ourselves steady. We're not increasing that much, even though we have a lot of building going on in the community. And it's hard to imagine, but the whole state of Texas enrollment is indicative of the state is doing well, but most school systems, the enrollment are pretty much just steady. I forgot to say that Ms. Friddle did take questions from the city, and of course she answered them with grace. Appreciate that. Also, Ms. Carabine shared with the city a lot of the information about our bond, and we had another question and answer period that the city got to ask us specifically. She shared the facts. Mr. Bryan and I were very encouraging to the city people about our hearts and souls are in the bond at the time. but they asked a lot of good questions, and we feel very confident about the relationship. Mr. Ybarra, our Executive Director of Communication, gave this information, which was very timely, and I want to read it because it's really just cool. So, Mr. Ybarra brought that our marketing and promotions department group, which is pretty much everybody in this building, we hit a milestone of 20,000 plus followers on Facebook alone. In a single week, we reached more than 55,000 people on Facebook and Instagram, meaning our posts were viewed by that many unique users. Since August of this year, our content has been viewed over 2.6 million times on social media. Since August, users have engaged with our posts more than 50,000 times through actions, likes, comments, shares, and reactions. We also continue to proudly highlight and celebrate our students and staff through billboards, banners, such as those along Merrill Green Stadium fence by Walmart, social media, monthly newsletters sent to families and the community. Additionally, we showcase student volunteers who actively participate in many events, which you've already heard about a lot tonight. And what was really neat, and you saw a lot of these real fantastic, great students turn around and give Ms. Carabine a wave, because a lot of them are our ambassadors, which are just personality plus kids that are actively involved. You saw a lot of them in the Habitat for Humanity picture, and they all know Ms. Carabine. So whenever I see a kid come and wave to Ms. Carabine, that's an ambassador right there. She sees them wherever they go. As I said, the city was very supportive at the table. Many of them are former students, or they have students in the schools now. So they do have a very vested interest, not just as city people, but as parents and invested taxpayers.
Well, that's good, because your time's up. Now, that was a great report. Thank you. Next is Finance Board Committee report. Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Stasny. The Finance Committee met on October 9th via Zoom at 10 a.m. It was Mr. Stasny, myself, and Mr. Stennis, and we had Ms. Carabine, Ms. Riddle, and Dr. Ybarra present. We started out discussing our staffing study, budget decisions regarding staffing. And I'll just read what we have. As shared in July, the district has proceeded with the staffing study through TASB. In August, the Human Resources Department contracted with the Texas Association of School Boards, TASB, to conduct the staffing review. We anticipate the draft of the study later this fall or early spring, and once finalized, information will be shared with the Board of Trustees during a called meeting. We also had Ms. Riddle come in and speak to us more about bonds, our bond facts. She presented a comparative overview of the district's financial position relative to peer districts. Sorry, let me get close to the microphone. Of similar size and within the region. The analysis included debt principal, tax rate, and other key financial benchmarks to provide context to the district's current bond capacity. And it was very positive. I appreciate that. It showed that we are in a good position. You compare us to other districts our size, other contemporaries, and there's a lot of schools out there that owe a lot more than we do. So I appreciate past boards and CFOs taking care of our budget and making sure that we are able to repay our debt. Dr. Ybarra, as always, and Dr. Ybarra, I'd like to thank you on a side note for keeping up with continuing education. So Mr. Stasny didn't have to give a bad report on me. I really thank her for reminding us that we are in need of a class. So thank you, Dr. Ybarra. I owe you very much. I appreciate you. She talked to us a little bit about our Washington campus, which is where our Head Start program, where the Head Start program is held. And we're coming up with a new lease, and she informed us that this time we're having legal counsel rewrite the agreement. I think there were some holes in it, and we wanted to make sure that it was addressed properly, and that they will provide us with a draft for review. And lastly, Dr. Ybarra told us about what she's presenting this evening. Administration will request approval to purchase Parent Square, a new communication platform that will replace two systems we currently use. This change will make it easier for staff and parents to stay connected, and most importantly, it will provide a cost savings to the district. So I'm very grateful when we can upgrade, get new and improved, and save money. So thank you all for that work on that.
Thank you. Next, we have the Executive Board Committee report from Ms. Benford.
Yes, Mr. Stasny, thank you. The Executive Board Committee met on October the 8th. And that consisted of myself, Mr. Stasny, and Mr. Bryan. Most of everything that we talked about is coming up later on the agenda, cleaning up some language on our board operating procedures, adding some much-needed things to make us a little more cohesive in how we take care of business. Ms. Friddle gave us a presentation. As always, it is good since we have moved from a cup to a bucket. The explanation as to why we're there and all about the money, so I appreciate that. As Mr. Gonzalez said, she always breaks it down to where we can understand it and not be confused about it. And we also talked a little bit about the bond. Dr. Merle does a great job with that, gave us a little information, a little more overview as to far as where we're at now. Mr. Griffin always has the best answers that we need, the honest truth, and we really appreciate that. Did I miss anything, Joel?
That was very thorough.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Benford. One more committee, the Intergovernmental Committee report. We're back to Ms. Waller.
And actually, Ms. Benford took notes today, so, ouch.
So you're going to do it?
Put you on
That's
the
okay.
spot.
Okay.
Do you, well, okay, together.
Well, yeah.
Together.
Write it all down.
This one was literally today.
Yes.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Today.
So we were presented by the Bryan Economic, did you write that?
The Bryan Economic Development Manager, Todd McDaniels. And he talked about economic development, talked to us about what that is and how that comes about. He gave us an idea that the average growth of our city is 7% over the last 10 years. This year, so far, we've had 265 residential lots platted. He talked a little bit about the Texas Triangle area and what was out there, how much more property they have left. I think it's only 57 acres.
Right, out of hundreds and hundreds.
Hundreds and hundreds of acres. And they talked about a company that's going to be doing nuclear tech. That's going to be very great for our kids because most jobs you have to have degrees or a lot of college for it. But this company's coming in, so our kids will be able to, their senior year, be able to start taking classes, go after this company, and get this certification and be able to get a job. So I don't remember what the company was. He didn't say, I don't think.
No,
I don't think
it's
you can.
to be determined.
Yes.
Okay, that's what he says. It's secret still, but that's okay. It was very encouraging to hear because one of the things that led to that conversation is about the number of people that are unemployed in the city. And a lot of these individuals have degrees from A&M or other colleges, and they're waiting tables or doing things like that. They don't have a job in their degree area. And so that was saddening to hear, but positive to hear that our students don't have to go to college and wait and come back and wait tables and do things like that. Those that don't want to go to college, there's the opportunity for those students. So very promising for us.
He talked about, he gave graphs about the top 20 employers by industry in this area. Number one, education, then food industry, healthcare, manufacturing, government, back office, and distribution. And Ms. Carabine was there with us, and we agreed that our students were already gearing many of them toward these things, but we took notes today, and with this kind of information and the connections with people like him and the growth of our CTE department and the location of our CTE campus, it goes right along with what's growing in that part of Brazos County. And so I think you text Laura, she texted our CTE person right when we were there, and he gave us a slide of everybody that's housed out right off of Mumford Road, which is where our CTE campus is, and all the huge companies that are right there, several of which we already have reciprocation with. And she said, Laura, knock on these people's door, tell them what we've got, tell them we've got kids. They can come in and see who we have, the equipment we have, and if they give us some equipment, we'll send kids to their door. So it was a real interesting meeting, and we're always learning about what's going on, and there's just so much growth and how we can plug our students in.
All right. Thank y'all both very much.
Good job.
Okay, moving on to information items. Number 9A, campus improvement plans update. We're going to hear from Kemp Carver, Johnson Elementary, and Navarro. We have Linda Montoya also involved as the Executive Director of School Leadership, and our respective principals, Allison Bogan, Laura De La Rosa, and Tara Hunter.
Good evening. Last month, I presented some information about the campus improvement planning process, and we had several principals who presented their campus improvement, their priority focus areas from their improvement plans, and the board approved all campus improvement plans during that meeting. So just a quick recap about the campus improvement planning process. All improvement planning to include campus improvement plans begins with the board goals. Oops. And some of the required elements of the campus improvement plan include a campus needs assessment, measurable objectives for student performance, the strategies, has to include the budget, the timelines, and that it has to be approved by their CPIC committee.
Now, just for clarification, this is not to reflect negatively on anybody. Everybody's supposed to be doing these, right? Whether regardless of what your past performance has been.
Absolutely.
We always want
Every
to
campus, yes.
improve any way we can.
Every campus has to create or develop their...
Every campus and every public school in the state of Texas,
that's
not
exactly
just
right.
Bryan ISD. This is a state requirement.
That's correct. These are just some of the things that we do here in our district as shared ownership between the campus and the district. We do our curriculum and instruction walks, our Safe and Civil Schools, our foundation trend data walks. We do our campus support team meetings weekly with campuses, and then we're involved in the Texas Instructional Leadership. So this evening, we have 3 of our elementary principals who are going to join us, and they're going to share their priority focus areas for this school year. So we have our Kemp principal, Mrs. Allison Balgan, our Johnson principal, Mrs. Laura De La Rosa, and our Navarro principal, Mrs. Tara Hunter. So I think Mrs. Balgan is going to start us off this evening.
Good evening. As proud principal of Kemp Carver Elementary, I'm here to talk about our 3 top priorities that we're going to be doing on our campus this year for the 25-26 school year. First and foremost is improving student achievement. We all want to improve student achievement, and it sounds easy, but it's not always that easy. Although we made a lot of growth on STAR this past year, we have a lot of work to still be done. And so we're going to really focus on improving our percentage of students that are attaining meets and masters on STAR in 3rd and 4th grade. We're going to do that through data-driven PLCs with our teachers, with our administrators, and our instructional coaches. We're really focusing on goal setting this year and having our students take ownership of their data. if kids don't know where they need to improve, they're not going to improve. And so we have really focused on kids knowing, okay, maybe I met my goal this time, but I barely met it, or I didn't meet my goal, but it was only by like 1 or 2 questions. And so every 3rd and 4th grader knows what their goal is for STAR, and after every assessment, those conversations take place to talk about, okay, did you meet your goal? If you didn't, how far away were you? What do we need to work on to make sure that you meet it next time? To go along with that, we are continuing the implementation of STAR Buddies. It is where each 3rd and 4th grade student on our campus is assigned a buddy, an adult in the building that is going to kind of walk this journey with them throughout the year, have those conversations about their data. And so every time they take an assessment, the child takes their folder and goes to the classroom of the adult in the building that is their STAR buddy. Those adults have been trained on what kind of questions to ask. How do those conversations need to go? And so it's a great motivator for kids because they get so excited to go have those conversations. Even if they don't do well on an assessment, just having that conversation with those adults is super impactful. We will continue with Thrilling Thursday. We start that usually in February, and it is where we're really focusing and targeting a group of students, which are our kids that we are expecting to get meets or masters on STAR. And they stay after school on select Thursdays to really get intense intervention and in the area of reading and math. And so they're also providing pizza, and so that's kind of a motivator for them to come on those Thursdays, and it's from 3:30 to 5:30. So then we also this year started the implementation of Summit K-12 RLA Mastery in 3rd and 4th grade. We've always done the Connect to Literacy with our EB students, but they also came out with a new program, which is RLA Mastery, and so we are implementing that for the first time this year, and our teachers really seem to like it. Our kids are excited about being on the program, and it's really aligned to STAR, and so we hope to see lots of improvement there. And we are also blessed with probably some of the best tutors, which are all retired teachers in Bryan ISD, to come provide focused and targeted intervention to our Tier 2 and Tier 3 students. So our next goal is to increase student attendance and decrease chronic absenteeism. We know that if our kids are not at school, they're not learning. So we will never be able to reach our goal of student achievement if we're not getting our kids to school each and every day. And so at Kemp, we are blessed to have a lot of our self-contained special education programs, but along with that, kind of lowers our attendance rate a whole lot. And so we've put a big focus on having those conversations with the parents of the kiddos that are in those classrooms to make sure that they understand that we need them at school every single day. We can't provide the intervention that they need to be successful. We can't get the data that we need for IEPs if the kids are not at school. And so some of the ways that we're doing that is we have a Google form that the staff fills out every morning by 8 o'clock for kids that are not there, and so we make those phone calls home. We are great at doing home visits. If they don't answer the phone, then we just get in the car and just drive to the house because we need them to understand that we need the kids at school, okay? So we also have attendance incentives for classrooms in place, and then just recently we implemented Hot Wheels. So with the change of the start time, you wouldn't think that 5 minutes would be a big deal, but our parents are still getting our kids to school at 7:45, 7:40, and school starts at 7:30. And so they're already walking in the door starting behind the day because they're missing out on breakfast, so they're having to run to the cafeteria, get breakfast, go upstairs. They're missing daily announcements. They're missing all the important things that they need to get their day started off right. And so we have started Hot Wheels, and we'll see how that goes, but it is to really recognize the kids that are coming on time every day to school. And then third, we are working on enhancing school culture through connection and celebration. And so we know that our kids need to feel valued Our staff needs to feel valued. And so we are doing Boggins Bingo. We've had that for a couple of years, and it is our Kemp Carver's take on the Principal's 100 Club to really focus on positive behavior for our students. And so we want to recognize and celebrate our staff frequently. Our staff needs to love their job, but they need to love where they do it more. And so it's important for us to know that our staff wants to be at work every single day, that they feel valued, that they feel loved. And then last but not least, thanks to the Bryan Education Foundation, we are about to welcome our newest member of the Kemp Carver faculty, June, who is our comfort dog, and June will be joining our family on November 7th, and we will be having a huge pep rally to welcome her to our family. So we hope that you can make it. It's November 7th at 8:30.
Ms. Boggins, I have a question.
Sure.
So you say in the mornings, as soon as those Google Forms come in and you know who's not there, I'm sure you don't just have one. Who's making, or what group of people are making those phone calls?
So we are blessed because we were two campuses that combined into one. We have two attendance clerks, which no elementary campuses have but us. And so both of our attendance clerks are making those phone calls. If there's a particular student that is missed quite frequently, then I make that phone call. My assistant principal makes that phone call. It's kind of, we all just help out where we can to make it happen.
Because I know they know the history. They've got it statistically, and I'm sure they know the kids and those parents by then too. Good. Thank you.
Ms. Boggins, may I ask a question? I'm really excited about all these different incentives. That's really important, especially at that age. I just want to ask, on your Thrilling Thursdays, is transportation an issue?
So it has not been an issue. We don't provide transportation, but our parents will come and they will bring them. And well, they don't bring them because they're already there, but they will be there to pick them up at 5:30.
So it hasn't hindered?
It has not been an issue at all.
Okay, thank you.
Thankfully.
So Allison, is the Hot Wheel, is that the little Hot Wheel cars they get?
So no, it's each teacher has a wheel, a digital wheel that we've created for them. And so every day when a kid is at school on time, they stay on the wheel. But if a kid comes to school tomorrow and they don't get to school until 7:50, their name comes off the wheel for that week. And so then at the end of the week, they will spin the wheel, and then there's 3 winners from each classroom, and they'll come to the front office and get a prize.
What is so good, and I hear it from top to bottom in this district a lot, is I don't hear any excuse making. I just hear all the specifics about how you're going to make things better, and that's just so important. And I hope the public hears that. I hope the people that sometimes claim that we're not doing our job will listen and realize how hard y'all work and how positive y'all are about trying to make things better instead of just looking for excuses, which you could try to do that. It wouldn't be that hard to find some, but that's not what this is about, is it?
Right. We all work hard. All of us. Everybody works hard.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to commend Allison because she leads by example. She's a veteran principal. She mentors a lot of others, and she has the best culture and climate ever. That staff is committed to those students, and when you walk in the door, you can feel it and see it and hear it and know it. So thank you for your leadership.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura De La Rosa, first-year principal at Johnson Elementary. I'm happy and honored to be here tonight. Starting with priority number 1 is maintaining and increasing our Domain 1 scaled score of an 88 by ensuring that every student has access to high-quality curriculum and instruction. So in doing so, we always look at the data, but we always forget about the what now piece. So I really intend to kind of slow down after every district-based assessment, after every concept quiz, and really take a look and dive deep with the teachers and helping and coach them in what to look for in order to provide that targeted instruction for all of our students. That won't be possible without the help of my assistant principal. Our instructional coaches is definitely a team effort. So We plan on collaborating, and then we meet weekly during our professional learning communities, or PLCs, and I intend on looking at not just what the curriculum is, what the lesson plan is, but what is your small group going to look like? What is your intervention time with your students for every subject area going to look like? Because every minute counts and we want to make sure we're intentional with it. In addition to that, we are going to be utilizing our Title I funds to pay our teachers for after-school tutoring, because who better to tutor than our teachers who are with them day in and day out and know them better than anyone else. I've opened it up for all teachers K through 4 to tutor. We've already had some start, which was very exciting because it's a team effort. We're all in it together, and it truly is it is truly rewarding to see at the end, when our students thrive and succeed, to know that we all took part in that success. And then by doing all of the above, we can ensure that we're providing differentiation in all classrooms if we're really sitting down to take a look at the data and being intentional with our planning. Priority number 2, our school culture, and that kind of goes hand in hand with priority number 3, recruiting and retaining a highly effective workforce. This is something that's very important for me as my first year. Johnson's under a new administration this year, so this is something that's very important to us. We are a Capturing Kids' Hearts campus, a national showcase school, and we intend on keeping that momentum going, because if we capture their hearts, as they say, we capture their minds. In addition to that, we want to increase the T in our PTO. We haven't had much teacher involvement in our parent-teacher organization in the past, and I think by getting their buy-in and getting their ideas, they would be more willing to attend. We also made our meetings happen a little earlier in the day versus later, because they're more likely to hang out on campus and then stay and join us for a meeting. So far, we've had a teacher at every meeting join us, so very exciting, and I hope that momentum continues. And then increasing our number of family engagement events throughout the school year. We've already had 2 so far. We had our parent orientation to kind of, get the year started, and then we had a family literacy night before the fall break, and I've already been partnering up with PTO to plan what's next before the semester ends. And then with fostering a positive school culture, you're more likely to recruit and retain a highly effective workforce. My assistant principal and I have the mentality, who's also here for moral support this evening, we have the mentality that if you're not retiring or moving, we want to keep you at Johnson. And so that's very important to us. And how do we do that? We do that by supporting our teachers. We have a couple of DOI teachers that we're going to support through certification at this time, utilizing our instructional coaches on campus. So if they have a specific need that they need help with, we're there to serve and to help. And then my receptionist actually took on, planning our staff socials, and she wanted to take on and do that, which was exciting. We've already had one and had over 10 staff members show up, and we intend to keep those going throughout the school year, because if we don't have a positive school culture, we can't retain or recruit great teachers, and without that, the math and reading achievement does not happen. Did y'all have any questions?
Any question?
I like that increase the teachers in the PTO. I remember it used to be a collaborative effort between the parents and teachers. And
yes, ma'am.
Some way it kind of broke away, so I'm excited to see that.
We're very excited as well, and this year I've been very impressed with my staff. They have a very much, we'll do what you need us to do, and we'll be where you need us to be. Even at our last family engagement event, we had teachers show up, and our parents were very appreciative of that, and they noticed those kinds of things. So, thank you.
Well, before you walk away, I just want to give you a huge shout out and congratulations. You would never know that she's a first-year principal. She was the assistant principal, so we have not missed a beat. The transition has been seamless. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to maintaining the level of excellence that we have at Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Tara Hunter. I'm the principal at Navarro. Thank you for having me. I wanted to share our 3 priorities with you. Our first one, student achievement. So Navarro, we were so close last year, and so we're going to continue that momentum, and we will earn that overall B accountability rating for this coming school year. So we're very excited about that, and our teachers are very motivated. How we're going to do that is we're focusing on our Tier 1 instruction through our planning that we do weekly with our instructional coaches, and then we are having a strong focus on our intervention and enrichment time that's built into our master schedule, so we can really focus on those interventions for those kiddos that we need to close the gaps with, as well as enrich those students that are ready to keep moving forward. We are also focused on our goal setting with our students. 3rd and 4th grade has already started the process of really taking that time to conference with their students one-on-one and setting those achievable goals with their kiddos and to support them through that process. We also are implementing our Summit K-12 for our EB because one of our focuses as well is to increase our TELPA scores. And so we do that through 2nd through 4th grade, and we implement that during station time in our reading block and intervention time built into our master schedule. The second priority, of course, we also are working on is student attendance. Our goal this year is to increase our attendance to 96% and reduce our chronic absenteeism rate. Some of the ways that we are already starting that process is every week in our leadership meetings, whether it's with my assistant principal and counselor or my instructional coaches, we talk about the kiddos who are coming to school or who are not coming to school, so we keep them on our radar so we can be sure to be meeting their needs. We send out attendance postcards for kiddos who, the postcard is simple. It says, "We miss you." And if they've missed 3 days, they get a postcard. If they miss 3 or more, they get one, "We miss you," and call us, you know. Just a personal touch to get our kiddos into the building. We are also doing attendance incentives as well. So we focus on the whole grade level, the classroom, and then individual students, and we celebrate them during morning meeting. And just to share currently, I'm excited to share that our attendance is currently 95.62, so close to that 96%. And so something I've actually just started doing a few weeks ago is I put that in my family newsletter every week and keep it on their forefront, thanking them for bringing their kiddos to school. We also want to increase family and community engagement. So Navarro will increase the parent participation at family involvement events. We want to not only increase the involvement at after-hour events, but even during the school hour. So bringing our families into the classrooms and into our building so they feel comfortable, confident, and safe with what's happening in the building with their kiddos. We too are also trying to strengthen our PTO and our membership in PTO. I was fortunate to come onto a campus that has a strong PTO, but something that similar to Johnson was missing was the teacher piece. And so we also moved our meeting time, and we provide daycare for families and for teachers if they need it, so they can be in attendance as well. And then finally, we are partnering up with 3 other elementary schools for Read by Third, and we are reaching out to our families that way to make them feel connected with the community and with other families in our school district.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
I don't know if that's common across the district or not to provide daycare for events. That sounds pretty good. Like that could be a pretty good incentive.
I think the parents are very pleased, the ones that are showing up, and they're like, "Oh, I can come now because somebody is watching." And so it's our instructional assistants that hang out with the kiddos and play with them for that hour.
That's great.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I just want to give Tara a shout out as well. She transitioned from Jones Elementary, and I should have counted how many times you said we. It's obvious that you're all in at Navarro, and you would have never known that you were new there this year. So thank you for that. And then I, again, just commend you for connecting with Read by Third and bringing Navarro into the equation, because that program is the epitome of family engagement. And the first meeting, this boardroom was packed.
Cool. Yes.
We're now having to host it here. So thank you for bringing all that you learned at Jones when it comes to that community and family engagement and implementing it immediately at Navarro. I know we will reap the benefits from your good hard work. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I want to say thank you to each of you for coming today and presenting. I think that for me personally, it's been educational to to learn more about student achievement and the granular detail that you dive into evaluating each individual student and their needs. But student attendance, culture, and family and community engagement are things that you have to be creative and you have to go above and beyond what we're there to do for teaching and learning. And it's good and refreshing to hear ideas and ways to get our parents in the building, because that's going to translate to student achievement and the community. But all of those things require extra effort, and so I just want to commend each of you on those ideas and that effort.
Yeah, great job. All right, we have another presentation, bilingual migrant and ESL update, and we have Jennifer Warren, who is Executive Director of Special Programs, and we also have Georgiana Adams Molina, who is Director of Bilingual ESL and Migrant Programs. Thank you.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Superintendent Carabine. Thank you for your time this evening. Since Bryan ISD implements both bilingual and ESL programs, we must conduct an annual evaluation in accordance with Texas Education Code 29.053, collecting a full range of data to determine program effectiveness to ensure student academic success. This presentation will provide required information to be reported by Texas Education Code, Chapter 29, including the academic and English language proficiency progress of emergent bilingual students, the number of students that have reclassified as English proficient, the frequency and scope of our comprehensive professional development plan to help and support teachers, including those seeking certification, and the number of teachers for whom bilingual education exception or ESL waiver is being filed. We'll talk a little bit about more what that is. Our district serves 5,183 English language learners, also known as emergent bilingual students. To support their language development and academic success, we offer 3 programs. We have a transitional early exit, a two-way dual language program, and an ESL program as well. For the students who are in our two-way dual language program, we have a completion ceremony at the end of the 6th grade year, honoring and celebrating their commitment to being in a program since kinder and now since pre-K. In the spring of 2023, we had 39 students completing the program, and now in the upcoming spring of 2026, we will have 90 students completing that program, which is a 130% increase over the last 3 years. Additionally, students in the two-way dual language program have the opportunity in 6th grade to receive high school credit for Spanish 1 through an assessment taken in the spring. This past spring, 100% of our students received Spanish 1 high school credit. Part of this presentation is to provide an overview of the academic performance of our emergent bilingual students. We have STAR 2025 data from the spring. Bryan ISD emergent bilingual students outperformed emergent bilingual students in the state in multiple performance levels in reading and language arts, math, and in science. Our 3rd grade and 4th grade students outperformed the state in reading and language arts and math in approaching meets and masters. Our 8th grade students outperformed the state in reading and language arts at the master's level and science at all levels. Finally, our Bryan ISD emergent bilingual students outperformed the state in English 1 at all performance levels. A second state assessment, not many people realize that there are 2 state assessments that our bilingual students have to take, the STAR and the TELPAS. But our second state assessment that our emergent bilingual students participate in is the TELPAS, the Texas English Language Proficiency Assessment System. The TELPAS is designed to determine a student's English language proficiency in 4 language domains: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. According to the state of Texas, typically students should progress 1 language proficiency level each year. So, for example, if they begin in kinder, they'll be at a beginning level. If they go to 1st grade, intermediate, 2nd grade, advanced, and then 3rd grade would be advanced high. So they're looking at progressing 1 proficiency level each year. 70% of our elementary campuses had 50% or higher in the number of students growing that one proficiency level. Also, students outperformed the state at the advanced and advanced high levels in the following grades. Listening, in the listening domain, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and 8th grade. In the speaking domain, 11th grade. In writing domain, we had 3rd grade, 4th grade, 10th grade, 11th, and 12th grade students outperforming the state at those levels. At the secondary level, our emergent bilingual students in the class of 2024 outperformed the state in both graduation rates and college career military readiness. Currently, we do not have data for the class of 2025 as there is a 1-year delay in state reporting. But you can see here the graduation rate for the class of 2024 at the state level was 86%, but for Bryan ISD it was 94%. Also, the CCMR for class of 2024 was 74%, and here in Bryan it was 76%. Now we're going to talk a little bit about reclassification. As an emergent bilingual student is reclassified as English proficient when they have developed sufficient English skills to succeed academically without needing additional language support. DEA requires districts to follow a reclassification process with multiple very rigorous criteria. They have to score advanced high composite on the TELPAS assessment, a minimum of approaches on the reading STAR assessment, and a favorable teacher recommendation. Even with this rigorous criteria, we still had almost 300 students reclassify in 2025, which is an increase of 300% from 2022-2023. Finally, when we look at the components of our successful program, we're looking at the resources that we have available to our teachers and to our students. One thing that we are very grateful that we bring to you every year is Summit K-12. I think you've heard several students talk about how that helps with students getting practice for the TELPAS assessment. But we have 4 critical resources that are funded through federal grants such as Title III. Summit K-12 is one of those. We also have Vista Higher Learning, which is an intense English language development curriculum that we have for our recent arrival students. We also use Sidlet's professional development materials, which provide high-quality research-based strategies that all of our teachers are trained to use. In addition, we have an additional component of our successful program is rooted in our professional development. We have bilingual instructional coaches. We have district-wide collaboratives that meet monthly, and they're differentiated by grade level and program type. We also have campus-level specific trainings. I remember working for the service center down in Huntsville, and we had Dr. Hall and Mr. Poe, and he used to say, "You call, we haul." So if a campus calls, we're there. If they want instructional strategies on how to help emergent bilingual students, they call us, and we're there. We help with classroom visits and feedback, and then most of our professional development opportunities for this year that are provided will focus on the speaking domain of TELPAS, which the data indicates that our students need that additional practice. Teachers need to implement additional strategies in the classroom to give the students the practice that they need. We're also looking at increasing academic vocabulary and teacher certification trainings. In addition to what we're doing with our Title III and state funds, 10% of our state funds must be allocated to support our teachers that are not appropriately ESL or bilingual certified. At this time, we have 72 ELA teachers who do not have their ESL certification and 8 bilingual teachers who need their certification. These numbers must be reported to the state as exceptions and waivers, which will be presented to you a little bit later on during this meeting. Any questions?
Dr. Molina, let me ask you, so just as we get all lined out and we are feeling really good about our progress, of course the STAR is going to go away and we're going to have the other 3 tests plus will we be able to measure as well with things broken up like they're going? I mean, I know you don't know yet, but is it going to be harder on our students or easier on our students, do you think, getting rid of the STAR?
When we're looking at TELPAS assessment, to my knowledge, that is not going to change at this particular time. So the students will be anticipated to grow that one proficiency level each year. But with looking at the STAR assessment, I'd have to defer to Dr. Ibarra.
It's okay. I mean, I'm kind of talking way out. It just, you know, we feel so, or y'all are doing such a good job, and we're progressing so well, and then all of a sudden, of course, everything just changes again. And it's almost too good to be true. Do you anticipate a big learning curve for our teachers and students in the way that the new assessment's going to be done?
When we had an onset in 2022, 2023, when everything went online, there was a significant decline in student performance, not because of anything instructional implications.
Right.
It was just the mode of the assessment. So anticipating something like that might be in the forecast.
And I know we're planning for it.
Certainly, and there's still very little out there right now on what the new assessment, how it will be constructed, the duration, the length. But they've started talking through it. They've even started piloting through the years testing across the state, and it's optional to test into it. So I think it won't be as radical as what was described when we were on paper pencil tests, and then we went to computerized testing, or even those technology enhanced questions that came about as part of STAR 2.0 and the content coming in. I think what it's just going to look like is a little unknown at this point, but it'll be a through the years assessment, beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year for up through 8th grade. And then at the high school level, as it's currently drafted, it would be optional to do the beginning of the year and middle of the year assessments, but it would give you great data to know how students were progressing towards that end of the year summative outcome for the end of course exam. So much to be seen still. They're looking at a couple different ways to communicate it out. It starts in 2028. Mm-hmm.
So expect Dr. Ibarra to come in multiple times throughout the
I'll start
transition.
my road show again, yes.
Yes, yes. Brace yourself for lots of information. 3.0.
I think it's SST is the new assessment, Student Success Tool. That is the name instead of STAR is, and there's a few jokes I'll tell you later. SST is what it is phrased
I'd
at.
like to hear them right now. Yeah, I'd like to hear go.
Well, it's so refreshing to see, you know, our scores and the data where it is, and I know we've worked really, really hard, and you know, we're all very proud. I just hope that we can keep going until, like I said, they throw something at us and I don't know, we can do it. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Questions, comments? Well, thank y'all very much. We have another presentation on our comparative financial review. Ms. Friddle's going to come back up and help us with that.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Carabine. A few weeks ago, Bryan ISD was visited by BOK Financial Advisors, a firm that the district has partnered with in the past for 2 previous competitive bond sales. The firm took the opportunity to share an analysis of Bryan ISD's bond capacity and debt levels, showing how the district compares to others in our region and to districts of similar size across the state. The results were encouraging, and we want to bring this information forward so our board and our community can see how strong our financial position really is. This data comes directly from the Texas Comptroller and the Municipal Advisory Council. To begin, Bryan ISD is the 78th largest district in the state, yet our debt levels remain low compared to districts of similar size. Among 908 Texas districts with outstanding debt, Bryan ISD ranks 138th in total bond principal, a very reasonable position. Our bond principal per student is far below the state median, and our debt as a percentage of taxable value ranks among the lowest in Texas. Even our INS tax rate at 27 cents is below the statewide median, demonstrating responsible management of our taxpayer dollars. When comparing Bryan ISD to peer districts within our region, our total bond principal of roughly $242 million remains well below most comparable districts. This reflects a cautious and deliberate approach to issuing debt. Now, this graph includes both the authorized and our unissued bond proposal. Even factoring in the pending bond sale, our district still falls in line with other peer districts in our region, showing only a minimal difference in comparison to the 5 districts behind us. Now, what's truly remarkable here is that we're able to make this level of investment without increasing our tax rate. When we look at debt per student, Bryan ISD's amount of $15,113 is one of the lowest compared to districts our size and far below the state's average. This shows that we've been careful and efficient with our spending, making most of every taxpayer dollar. It also means that we are starting from a strong financial place and that Bryan ISD can responsibly afford to move forward with this bond proposal. Even when we add in the authorized and proposed bonds, Bryan ISD still has a low debt level per student compared to districts our size. This shows that we can take on new projects in a responsible way. Now, what's really noteworthy here is that we're able to do this without raising our tax rate. Now, this is one of my favorite illustrations here. This slide communicates another strong message about our current outstanding bond principal as a percentage of our taxable property value. In plain language, what this means is Bryan ISD has a modest amount of debt relative to the size of its tax base. In other words, this is conservative borrowing. We have the tax base to support a bond payment. Now, even with the proposed bond, Bryan ISD remains well within conservative debt levels when compared to peer districts across the region. Once again, this illustrates that the district has a solid foundation supported by strong property values. I'd like to take a brief moment to thank BOK Financial Advisors for providing such valuable and timely information to our district. Their insight and partnership is greatly appreciated, and we thank them for their time. Now, for those of you joining our bond conversation for the first time, it's important to understand what you will see on the ballot. The state of Texas requires every school district bond proposition to include the statement, "This is a property tax increase," even when the district's INS tax rate will not change. The district's financial plan is designed to fund all 3 propositions within the current INS tax rate. Now, for anyone out there wondering how Bryan ISD can afford to take on this level of debt without raising the tax rate, let me assure you that we can. Our district has a long-standing commitment to paying down debt early, much like making extra payments on a mortgage to pay it off faster. If anyone here has ever had a mortgage, we are familiar with the concept of making principal payments to pay it off faster, correct? That way we don't have to pay on a mortgage for all the 30 years that we get a mortgage for. Bryan ISD has followed this same concept for many years and is known for retiring bonds or mortgages earlier than scheduled, saving millions of dollars in interest costs for our taxpayers. Now, if you are familiar with Dave Ramsey's snowball method of debt reduction, that's essentially what Bryan ISD has been doing over the years, maintaining a stable tax rate while using available capacity to pay down debt ahead of schedule. This practice has strengthened the district's financial position and has created the bonding capacity we now have to invest in new projects without increasing our tax rate. And for those of you who might think, sure, the district won't raise the tax rate now, but they will later, that simply is not how school finance works. By law, a school district can only set its tax rate at the level needed to repay voter-approved debt. The only time the rate changes or remains the same is when the board chooses to pay down debt early through a cash defeasance or a bond refunding like we did last month. Those practices actually reduce long-term costs for our taxpayers throughout the year. I'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
Anybody? This is a good refresher. We've heard a lot of this already, and we're hoping everybody is aware of the certainly possible confusion when you see that on the ballot, as to the tax increase. And I'll since we also want people to remember this as well, I'll say it very quickly that it would be great if we could just save up money from the M&O, as it's called, not the debt tax, but the other tax rate that we have that funds our operations. If we just save money from that, and then when we save it up, we pay for all this stuff that we're borrowing money for. And if we did that, we probably would lose most of our staff because we wouldn't be paying them competitively. And plus, with the mandates that the state imposes on us, we just truly don't have a lot of discretion with regard to that money. So that's just one more time reminder that that's not a practical way for school districts to operate, and that's not really anything that we are necessarily happy about, but that's the financial structure that we're required to deal with. So. But thanks again, and if we don't have any other questions, we will move on.
It's not a question, just a comment. That's the first time I've seen some of those comparisons, so that's really helpful to put us in the context of where other districts like us are in terms of bond debt. And yes, I hope that people come to the same conclusion that you shared, that we are well positioned to manage that.
Yes, ma'am.
What drives the comparable districts? Is that size?
In this study, it was districts of similar size and enrollment, and also in our region, Region 6, 12, and some other surrounding regions within our similar enrollment.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a consent agenda. I'll remind the board that any item can be removed from the consent agenda to be acted on separately if anyone chooses to do so. The consent agenda is not intended to be hiding the ball from anybody. These are routine matters that we, in the interest of time efficiency, we are allowed to vote on those all at one time if that's the will of the board. But again, it only takes one board member to pull something off. So.
Mr. Stasny, I move approval of all the items listed on the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, motion made by Mr. Gonzalez and seconded by Ms. Benford. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? It passes unanimously. And we have action item, consider approval of bilingual exceptions in ESL waivers. This was mentioned briefly earlier that this is something that we need to do under the circumstances of not having all fully certified teachers. So please kind of tell us a little more about that and what you need from us.
Okay. Our district's annual evaluation presents an opportunity to strengthen our team of certified bilingual and ESL teachers. To ensure uninterrupted support of our emergent bilingual students, we are seeking the board's approval to file for the following: bilingual education exceptions. To address the current need for more certified bilingual teachers, we request approval to seek an exception from the Commissioner of Education. This would allow us to implement an alternative program in elementary grades where bilingual instruction with fully certified teachers is not yet feasible. ESL waivers. Additionally, we seek approval to request waivers for teachers who are not yet ESL certified but are already supporting our ESL program. These waivers will help us maintain quality instruction as we work towards building a fully certified teaching staff. Currently, we are filing 8 bilingual exceptions and 72 ESL waivers. That's what I'm bringing forward.
We have a history of not just sitting on our hands, but we have some significant stipends that we use to try to get as many
Yes.
people as we can that are certified. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. We have had bilingual stipends in place, and they're actually very competitive for our surrounding districts and our region. Thank you to the board for approving those stipends every year for the teachers. But we do offer the bilingual stipend, and then we also have an ESL stipend that's awarded for certified teachers in our ELA content areas. In addition, we offer robust professional development to our current teachers that are currently certified, and then specifically for teachers that are seeking certification. This upcoming November 1st, we have the Service Center coming out to our district to provide an ESL preparation course for the teachers, and I'm targeting specifically those who we want, the 72 on the list that need to be to get their ESL certification. So they're coming out to us, so our teachers don't have to travel, and they're bringing that service to us so that we can get our teachers certified. And then the following month, we'll do the same thing for our bilingual certified, for our teachers seeking bilingual certification.
Dr. Molina, would you elaborate? It's been many moons since I was a certified teacher seeking my ESL credentials. Can you explain to the board and our community that these teachers are already degreed and certified, but they're seeking additional certification?
Oh, absolutely. Most of the teachers that are in the classroom teaching right now, except for our DOI teachers that now have a pathway to certification, are credentialed teachers. They have their grade level and content area certifications. Now we're just looking for program type certification, so our ESL program or bilingual certified teacher as well. But absolutely, and I'm very excited. Most of the exceptions that or most of the waivers that we're filing this year come from DOI teachers, but now because of the just impressive movement that we're showing with getting our DOI teachers certified, most of those ESL waivers are going to come off this list, and I'm trying to work in collaboration with HR to make sure that this is part of their ultimate certification goals. So not just to become content and grade level certified, but also program type certified as well. So getting their ESL certification, and then we also have some bilingual teachers that are in the DOI program that will be going on to get their certification as well. So we're headed in the right direction. I'm super excited about that.
Do you have a percentage, oh, I'm sorry, if I may, do you have a percentage of the teachers that are going to be taking advantage of getting certified? That's my first question. The second one, is there a big gap between DOI and the waiver? I mean, you said you're taking care of that. I just don't want people to get the impression that we have teachers that are not certified and now they're looking for a waiver. It's kind of what it seems like.
Basically, we're looking at getting all 72 teachers ultimately certified, bringing the Service Center out, again, inviting those teachers specifically to attend that, and then as they're working in their alternative certification programs, progressing through to that pathway for certification, we want to involve that particular certification as well for those teachers.
And then just to clarify, our DOI teachers are degreed. They're just not certified. Would you explain a little bit about that?
So they're looking for certification in grade level and content, and then we're also asking that they get their certification in a program type for ESL certification, for example.
Thank you.
So, yes.
And all have a 4-year college degree.
Yes.
Thanks.
Well, I appreciate the attachment you provided as well that shows the historical numbers that we've had. And it looks like at a minimum, we're in alignment with the last 3 years of what we've requested. In fact, it's way less than some previous years, perhaps 2019, 2020 during COVID, those kind of things. And when I take into account the great job that y'all just shared earlier with the information about how well our students are doing, it appears that we have the right people in the seats to support our children.
One benefit for this school year that is new is that the state now waives the testing fee for bilingual certification and adding it to your actual certificate. One thing that Bryan ISD has always done is actually reimburse anyone who passes the test for that fee or that set of fees, but there is still a financial burden that you have to take on if you're going to register for that test. The state now waives that for a one-time try at the test. And of course, you have up to 5 times to take the test and pass it. But what we're seeing is that the state has recognized that there's a great need, not just in the bilingual world, but the special education side of things too. So if you go in for registration of the bilingual test or the special education test, that fee is not there. You can just register and take the test. So it takes that financial burden off. And it also saves our district some funding that we have set aside for that.
As soon as they get their certification, does their stipend start boom right then, like next check? I mean, how does that, does it start the next semester? It starts right then?
It is prorated. So wherever you are in the school year, and if you're serving in that role, that's when it starts, and it's prorated from when you receive that certification on your certificate. You can't just pass it. You've got to put it on your certificate too.
And then they know they can adjust their salary from then on. Yeah, that's good.
I move approval of the bilingual exception and ESL waiver reports as presented and authorize administration to make any necessary adjustments to the submission as new data becomes available.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez and seconded by Mr. Stidis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hey.
One more time, Ms. Friddle. Consider approval of Root Benefits Risk Pool Medical Stop Loss Insurance Carrier for plan year 2026. Some people might say, what the heck is that? So,
She brought a crew with her. So.
Good evening, members of the board. Superintendent Carabine. This evening, we're presenting the renewal for the district's stop-loss insurance, which protects our self-funded health plan from unpredictable losses and catastrophic claims. Each year, the district reviews its coverage limits and reviews the rates to ensure that we maintain appropriate protection at a competitive cost. As part of this process, Bryan ISD solicited competitive sealed proposals from qualified providers to ensure that the district receives the most cost-effective and comprehensive coverage available. ANCO Insurance, Bryan ISD's broker of record, assisted the district in reviewing and evaluating these proposals. The evaluation process followed the weighted criteria outlined and published in the request for proposals, ensuring a fair and transparent and data-driven assessment of each vendor's capabilities and overall value to the district. Based on the evaluation results and consultation with our broker, the administration is recommending the renewal with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas at a rate not to exceed $1,272,159. This reflects a net increase of just under $34,000 from the prior year. I'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
do we have any? I guess that's, I will just say this, that with the way the world is right now in healthcare, I guess we should kind of breathe a sigh of relief that it's not more than that. Because these are often, when this kicks in, it can be a really huge claim, and under today's environment, huge claims are not all that uncommon. So anyway,
And thank you for all the research. Yes, sir, I agree. I mean, it's important for us to vet everybody and get the most beneficial, cost-effective plan for the district. I know this can't be an easy job, so thank y'all for all of the research and diligence that y'all do to make sure that we are covered and at the best price.
Yes, sir.
You have a different name though now, don't you? Are we?
Oh, you mean our name?
Yes.
Well, we're a Hub International company, yeah.
Okay.
He was like, what?
I move approval of the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas as the medical stop-loss insurance carrier for the plan year 2026 with a deductible of $350,000 and a premium not to exceed $272,159 as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Dr. Harlan Wolf and seconded by Ms. Waller. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we have Dr. Merrill and our good buddy Bobby Griffin coming up here to tell us.
It's the one you've been waiting on, Mr. Stasny. It's way signage and all the other fun things. And we're sort of getting to the end, and not quite to the end, but getting there with our 2020. We've been in a few other times just sharing project updates and closing things out. I know they presented last board meeting when I wasn't here, so thank y'all for that. And we appreciate Melissa, who was in the back. Thank you for always behind the scenes making sure that we get everything out to our appropriate vendors, which we're very thankful for. So thank you to Bobby and Melissa and Norma for that wonderful ability. In fact, they put it out in front of 457 different invitations. And I think you have in there, we're here tonight to consider approval and obviously recommendations to accept Altuus. It came in under budget by $50,735. We did not necessarily we went with a company that came highly recommended and one that we've reached out to and that has responded. And it really brings in the best value for the district. And again, it's below, obviously, the budgeted amount. And so I appreciate the hard work that went into it that brought this to you tonight. And so there's multiple campuses that will be impacted by this: Bonham, Bowen, Branch, Fannin, Henderson, Johnson, Navarro, Neal, as well. So they're going to get room signs, wayfinding, and exterior signage as well.
Did Fannin get a marquee yet? I know they've been working on it.
No, that's a complicated question
I
and
know.
answer. You know that.
Yes, sir. I was hoping maybe y'all had gotten some resolution without.
It's a whole different concept. It's not as simple as just buying one.
Yes,
because
sir.
of,
Yes, sir. So
I live there.
I was hoping y'all gotten there. So.
No, unfortunately not.
This is also an opportunity to get some continuity with our signage so that we can get a standard from building to building so that when you walk in, we start seeing the same.
Yeah. This came recommended from architects as well as just our own personal experience, to be completely honest with you. So they've been very responsive. We had a change order, and a lot of times that gives us insight into the company, how responsive they are and what their level of customer service is. And this was another example of us being able to see that.
So for security reasons and otherwise, is it going to be easier for anybody to just walk in and know how to get to the proper room that they want to go to?
Yes, it's identification of rooms themselves, but also wings and custodial closets. It's a way for people to be able to know what's in the building and where to locate it. And again, trying to get it standardized so that same color, style, and other things. And this is also an ADA compliance, so there's safety and security is involved as well.
Mr. Tanzany, I'm sorry, Jim, another question?
I was just curious, with approval, what timeline? Is this a summer project? Does this happen during the school year? Do we know?
Try to work it in when students aren't present during the holidays, and the sooner we can get it formulated and get it together, the better. We'll be bringing to you the final package for 2020, and that will be renovations, and that will all be done during the summer. But the package that we discussed 2 weeks ago and the package that we're currently bringing, we're going to try to get those done as early as possible.
Great. Okay. Now, I'll move to approve the award of the Phase 2 elementary signage renovation package to Altius Graphics in the amount of $73,970 as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez, seconded by Mr. Bryan. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Okay, is Ms. Friddle still in the building? Yes, there she is. Okay.
Here she is.
We have one more thing for you to do here.
Joel, this one's yours.
Or maybe two, I don't know, but you got this one anyway. So.
This is my last one.
Oh, okay.
You're starting to rival Dr. Barbara Ebar.
Exactly.
Thank you, Board Member Superintendent Carabine. In accordance with Section 26.09 of the Texas Property Tax Code, the governing body of a taxing jurisdiction, such as school districts, cities, or counties, are required to formally approve an annual tax levy. Once the board adopts the tax rate, the district must also approve the tax levy, which is the process of officially applying that tax rate to the certified property values from the appraisal district. This is a routine process, and the levy establishes the total amount of taxes the district is entitled to collect for that year. Please note that this levy reflects the proposed increase in the homestead exemption that will appear on the ballot this November. I'd be happy to take any questions at this time.
Ms. Friddle, is there still I'm sure there was what, 100 million? What was the possibility of litigation on the property values you told us about?
Oh, yes, that was, yes, that is still pending. So
Okay,
there's
so
still some values that are still in litigation, but those will continue to kind of trickle out
Okay.
at a time. It won't hit us like all at one time. They go just a little bit at a time.
And if it does hit us, is that, I forgot what the answer was, to be honest with you, is that reimbursable by the state? How does that work if our tax, does the cup, do they fill more of the cup than if our percentage goes down? How does that work if
It all goes back to tax collections for that year. So whatever it is, if we do happen to lose anything, either the state will make it up. It just depends on student populations, tax collection rate for that year. Lots of variables go
Okay.
into that. But I do not see that being a hindrance or a big issue.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mr. Stasny, I move approval of the tax resolution approving the 2025 property tax levy for the Bryan Independent School District in the amount of $121,584,860.49 as presented.
Second. We're just so shocked.
First try.
All right,
Good job,
motion
sir.
made by Mr. Stennis. I think Mr. Gonzalez beat you. So, seconded by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it looks like we've got another item here on the purchase, discuss and consider approval and purchase of over $50,000 for Unified Communication Platform Parent Square. And we have Ms. Johnson with us. How are you
Yes.
today?
Good. How are you all?
Good.
So yes, I'm bringing forward a purchase request for Parent Square, which is a unified communications program. It's basically going to replace two products we currently have in-house. There we go. So I wanted to give you kind of a little bit about Parent Square, about why we're changing and why it's an upgrade for us. So the one thing I kept hearing from campuses was they didn't have the ability to have two-way conversations via SMS, like text messaging, without using like a personal device of some sort. So Parent Square actually has that built into their platform where the teacher can use a portal, whether it's on the web or whether it's on their phone as an app or just on their phone on a browser, and have those two-way conversations. And what I really love, so I'm going to highlight that first, is if you can see the image, that has where maybe the teacher's on her phone using text messaging and texting the parents through the app. Then, if the parent is, for example, a Spanish speaker, it will automatically translate that content and deliver it to the parent in their language that they prefer. And so then that parent can type everything they want to in, for example, Spanish, and when it gets sent back to the teacher, it'll be translated into English automatically.
Wow.
We absolutely love that feature.
Yeah.
So is the teacher may not even be aware that
No.
that is a Spanish speaking?
Exactly.
And so
It will
through
transmit.
registration, it gets inputted?
Yes, so during the registration process, we do ask, what is your home language or your preferred language? And so at that time, we match that up, and so that's how we'll determine. But maybe if that changes over time, the parent will be able to change their preferences and say, I did say that I wanted English, but I'd feel better with Spanish. They'll be able to go in and change those preferences. Which is another thing we like about this new product, is that you can decide, do you want to receive messages via SMS? Would you prefer the call? Would you rather get a digest email at the end of the day? That kind of thing. But we don't lose any of the functionality we currently have, such as the mass notifications in case of emergencies or your attendance calls. We'll still have that as part of this package.
Julie, and I know it says here that you have the two-way, so their number doesn't show up, but they can reply directly to that message, correct?
Yes, 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 sir. So how we found Parent Square is they actually purchased Remind. So we'll have that functionality that our teachers already know how to use built into Parent Square, which is a really nice feature. Let's see, it also integrates with Skyward, our new SIS, which we love. And then it has some other features we probably won't start off with immediately, but a lot of our principals use other programs to create their newsletters. Well, this has a built-in feature where it will help them create that newsletter. It'll already have that contact information built in, so they'll be able to send that letter immediately. So I did have principals look at this summer. We were neck deep in Skyward transition, so we weren't really ready to, take on something else, but I think we're ready at this point, and I think it's really needed and be a great improvement for us. And the best part of all is it's cheaper.
Wow.
And so the implementation year, so that's we'll start actually November 1st with implementation, get all the settings set up, and then we'll kind of do a soft launch, and we'll start that then. And then we'll do live when we come back in January for everyone. That amount is $62,204. They did prorate it for us and kind of helped with the implementation fees, those kinds of things. And then for the 2026-2027, it would be $70,785, which is $24,000 less than if we renewed our final site and our Remind again. So
That's great.
anyway, we
What are y'all
thought it
doing
was
with the
a win-win.
24,000?
I know.
I move approval of the purchase of Parent Square in the amount of $62,204.67 for the 25-26 and 25-26 school year, and $70,785 for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Second.
A motion made by Ms. Waller, seconded by Ms. Benford. I actually have a question. Every now and then I wonder, okay, is this like okay, if you're new, you get this special rate, and then we don't know down the road how much the renewal is going to be, or is there some sort of assurances that they build into this that their increases will not exceed a certain amount?
So I'm really a believer in researching. I don't jump into a software program unless I actually have some trust in them. And so we've been looking at this for 2 years and watching their pricing. They do have a tips bid that's actually part of how we're buying it, which has a set rate, and they do have to bid on that annually, or at least biannually. I'll double check.
Okay.
But yes, I feel confident that we're not going to see huge increases unless our numbers change. So if we have a reduction in students, that price will change, and vice versa if it goes up.
And it's a tips bid, I'm sorry.
It is on the tips.
And we're not locked in any way. If
Nope.
they did pull something, we could,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
okay.
Part of the
Not that we'd
contract we
want
can
to,
get out.
but understand. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Julie, would you,
I fully vet them.
Would
Like,
you remind
I
us-
don't let just anyone in.
would you remind Mr. Stennis what a tips bid is, please?
I'm sorry. Yeah, so they're Region 6, was it Region 6? Let me see if Melissa's still here. You want to explain it?
You'll have to, I'm sorry.
Come on up. A purchasing
Come on down.
cooperative.
Sorry to.
No, my
Sit-
fault.
Since we're recorded, they ask that we amplify your voice on the mic, please.
Still here.
So the TIPS co-op is a purchasing cooperative that we're a member of where we get set pricing. So instead of us bidding that out, that's one of those that, the actual cooperative bids out for us and we're a member. So we get to partake in the pricing that they get
Okay.
for, along with other school districts in the state of Texas.
And we have several of those that I know when we buy buses and things.
We do.
have
We're a
them,
member
so.
of about 20.
Okay.
I will join any of them if they are free for sure, because that just opens up our vendors. Right now, with just the 20, we have over 50,000 vendors that we can purchase
Wow.
from, just from those co-ops.
Great, thank you.
The purpose of this exercise was to reassure everybody that we do really, and y'all very much so, try to make sure we're getting bang for our buck and
Oh,
we're
yes,
being
sir.
careful. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much. And the motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. It's unanimous. All right, we're moving to closed session. The board will now convene in closed session to discuss the following items as allowed by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, 074, 0821, and 071. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of the discussion in closed session will occur after the board reconvenes in the open meeting. The time is now 8:25. Board reconvene in open session at 9:35. No action was taken in closed session. Do we have any motion?
I didn't write it
I
down.
move approval of the amendments to the board operating procedures as presented.
Second.
A motion made by Ms. Benford, seconded by Ms. Waller. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? It's unanimous. I'll mention that the changes to the board operating procedure are readily available. Is that correct, or will be
Yes,
soon?
they will be reflected and posted to the website as early as tomorrow.
Okay, all right, thank you. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 9:36.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to go take tuition before 10.
Good night to all.